Hi, and welcome back to the Gratitude Incarnate podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Rose, and this is the Daily Divine Download. So today, before we get started, I want to jump into a quick visualization. So if you have the ability, if you're not driving, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to take a couple deep breaths in through your nose, out through your nose, and again, in through your nose, and out through your nose. Okay, now what I want you to visualize is, I want you to visualize you holding your phone in your hand. Now imagine your phone begins to ring, and you look down to check the caller ID, and you see that it's your soul calling you. All right? And we're definitely going to answer the call. I want you to swipe across and answer that call. What is your soul calling you to do? Just take a moment to think about that. You may already know consciously, it may be in your subconscious, but either way, you know. All right, you can open your eyes now. Let's just take a couple more breaths to just bring us back into this space that we're in right now. And this is what I want to talk to you guys about today. So, what is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. That's why I created these podcast episodes. Every day, Divine Source guides me to share these messages with you. Now you're being called to answer the call of your soul. Your soul has a special message for you, and you know what it is. Maybe not consciously, but deep down you know. And it's probably something that you felt for a long time. You know, I had a deep desire to be heard. I always had a message to share with someone, and for a long time I ignored that calling because I was scared, and I am here to tell you it will be scary, and sometimes it will not make sense. For me, I was scared that people wouldn't like the sound of my voice, but you know what? That was just a limiting belief that I placed on myself. My entire childhood, I was told to be quiet, shut up, speak when you're spoken to, you're just a kid, what do you know? Talking will get you in trouble. I heard a lot of things that affirmed my belief that no one wanted to hear what I had to say. But obviously, you are here, so that is not true. I released that disbelief at the beginning of my spiritual journey through sound healing, and I released the trauma and the limiting beliefs that were blocking me from sharing my voice. And I still battle with that. I still battle with speaking up and allowing myself to be seen and heard. But when you answer that call from your soul, you learn to transform that fear that you have into love, and you use that energy to fulfill your purpose. You don't have to have permission from me or from anyone else. It's already yours. You are the one who has to answer. You do not need to make a step-by-step plan. And guys, this is so important because I know how overwhelming it can be when you get this divine download, when you get this call from your soul, yes, it fills you with joy and with hope, but also sometimes it can feel overwhelming because it feels like, it's just too much and you feel like you have to know every step of the way, but you don't. You just need to figure out the first step and then take the action on that step. And then you'll notice that once you've figured out that step and took it, you'll figure out the next step. And if you're listening to this right now, this is your sign. This is the nudge that you were looking for. If you feel like it's too scary or too difficult, that probably means it's more important to you than you know right now. Okay? I've learned that sometimes the things that seem the scariest and the most challenging are the things that we need to do the most, because they give us the most fulfillment and the most joy and happiness and enlightenment and all the things. You know, I'm sure you've heard the saying, like, the view at the top of the mountain is beautiful. You know, it takes, oh gosh, getting lost here. It's going to be a rough journey sometimes. You know, climbing up a mountain is physically difficult, but when you get to the top, the view is worth it. I just completely butchered that, but I think you guys get what I mean. You know, you don't have to see the end destination. You don't have to be able to see the view at the top of the mountain before you climb up there. You know that it's going to be beautiful. You know that it's going to be amazing and breathtaking, and that you don't have to know exactly what it's going to look like to know that it's worth climbing for. It's worth taking the steps towards that goal, towards that calling. So you just have to figure out the step and take it just one step at a time. So what are you being called to do? And what step can you take today to answer that call? Remember, like, no matter how big or small the steps are, if you just take one step every day, at the end of the year, that's 365 steps. And that is a lot of progress. So that's what I'm going to leave you with today. I hope this episode helps you guys out. If you have any questions or comments, you know where to reach me at gratitudeincarnate@gmail.com, or you can find us on social media at gratitudeincarnate. Thanks for listening and have a grateful day.